500 budgies. Were they just colony bred?
Yeah, colony.
Now, look at all this lot coming out now.
I'd like to see the man that comes in here
And gets hold of him.
and bonds with that bird and picks it up.
Joel.
I give £200 and 30 budgies. I probably bred 500 budgies a year.
A year? Do you just get bored? Do you think you completed it? Because in a way
Well,
you've completed it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a tenner for a budgie, but not everybody's got £1,000 for a parrot. I'm not bothered about telling you on camera because it doesn't matter to me now.
Right. Welcome back to the Bird Lounge. I'm Zach. This is another episode of Behind the Scene Bird Rooms. I'm with Terry. Thanks for having us, Terry.
All right.
Terry's a good friend of Johnny that you've seen on the other episode, and today we're going to have a look around his setup. So, pal, I believe you've been into this for over 40 years.
About 40 years.
So I'm going to try and get as much advice off you today as I can for all the viewers that are brand new to the game. Like myself, I'm back in it probably about 3 years, so...
You will learn a lot.
So, let's just start going through it. So I believe you're currently in the build, so you're going to be extending this, are you, or putting new?
I've just cleared this one here. This shed here had 500 budgies in it.
500?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I cleared them because I wanted a different setup.
Yeah.
I divided these aviaries here into 3.
Right.
I've had some cages built inside.
So, sorry Terry, when you said you had 500 budgies, were they just colony bred? Or
Yeah, colony.
Colony, so inside here with
That was just one big aviary at one stage.
Right.
Like I said before, I divided it into 3.
Right.
And then I used to have a partition across here.
Yeah.
And they were all in here.
Right, cool.
But like I said, I've cleared it. I had all these cages here made.
These are really cool, mate. Was it a company that specialised in it? Was a friend of yours that knocked them
No,
up?
it's a company.
Oh, do you mind me asking how much a set like this would cost for anyone who's thinking
For three cages,
Yeah.
without the boxes,
Right.
it was £1,080.
For 3 cages without the boxes? To be honest, it's not a bad deal, that is it at all. Look
You
how
know.
clean they are. Immaculate. It's really smart. So what's your plan here, Terry? What,
All
no,
these
look at that. It's built for job, innit?
swing feeders.
Yeah, built for
You
job.
know,
That's how you do it. If you've got the money to invest, that's obviously the way forward, isn't it? Obviously.
and then I had to build these myself, the nest boxes.
Yeah, cool. And what birds are you planning on breeding in here, Terry?
Well, I've got some birds. I'm waiting for breeding season to finish so I can move them because they're over at my friends over the other side at the moment.
Right.
I've got double yellowhead Amazons,
Cool.
blue front Amazons, orange winged Amazons.
Nice.
They're going in these 3 here.
That's really kind. How long have you owned them birds? Have you collected them over the years? I take it them ones.
Yeah.
So-
And now I've got one a single blue front in there.
Yeah.
I am looking for an hen now to pair up with that one,
And what's that? What is it?
a blue front Amazon.
There you go. If anyone knows anyone, and you after a hen, are you?
A blue front Amazon hen.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And I can imagine they go for quite good money then nowadays.
Well, depends on what you want to pay at the end of the day and how old it is, and
That's it.
if it is a breeder or
Yeah.
some people. I'm not one of those that want pets. I don't want a pet.
Right. Go.
I'd sooner have an aviary bird
Totally get it.
because
Other than your dog.
come on, you get out of there.
That's definitely your pet.
Come on, out.
So Terry, let's have a look into these aviaries. So these are some beautiful colours.
Well, I can send them out if you want.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at them. Now, look at all this lot coming out now. Look at the colours on these, absolutely stunning. Well impressive. Just want to look over here, look at his Cockatiel selection. Look at this lot. Hello.
Come on,
Look at that, absolutely fantastic. So happy they all look.
come on.
The
get out.
noisy buggers Cockatiels, I've noticed that when they're in a pack, if you want to upset your neighbours, this is definitely a bird to get. Quite alongside ringneck. So Terry, you've got some cool sets of Cockatiels there, pal. Really nice. How many breeding pairs have you got in there?
not got a clue.
You lost counts, have you? I had to keep them all still.
I just
You need to take a picture, Callum.
colony,
A
you know.
colony breed.
Uh,
And are you getting good results from this colony?
oh yeah. I've got a younger that's just come out to nest actually today.
Aviary.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got a red ring on it somewhere in there.
I'm looking for a couple of pairs of cockatiels for myself. So if you've got any advice in regards to breeding cockatiels compared to budgies, or would you say they're a lot harder bird than the
They are a
budgie?
bit harder bird than a budgie.
And what makes them harder, would you say?
They're not as, I wouldn't, personally I wouldn't say that they're as good appearance as budgies.
Fair enough.
This one here,
Yeah.
I think that's the one that's,
Is that the baby?
has it got a red ring on it?
It hasn't got a ring.
No,
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 that's
no.
a baby, isn't it?
it is a baby, but there is one in the like with a red ring on.
Yeah.
I've only just rung it this morning.
Beautiful, man. So, in regards to obviously ringing your birds, you're on top of that, are you?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to be, don't you?
Yeah,
And do you register your cockatiels with anywhere, or do you just keep your own personal records?
your personal record,
Yeah, best way.
you know.
Very simple, right?
I just put my own rings on them.
Yeah, just so you know who's who and you
Yeah.
know when they're breeding up. So,
And
yeah,
then-
let's have a look at these over here. Oh, they've gone back in now.
Yeah, these are
But we
all,
caught them on camera a minute ago, stunning.
these are Crimson-Bellied Conures, them.
Crimson-Bellied Conures. And out of both, sort of, in regards to breeding these, again, they're colony bred as well.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have good results with these?
Yeah,
Right?
I sold John all the young this year
Yeah.
off them. Was the 6, John?
Six of them.
6 youngins off them this year.
And for anyone who's interested in getting into breeding this style of bird, how much would you say a good breeding pair would be sold for nowadays?
About 500 quid, I would imagine.
About £500 a pair, right?
If you're lucky, you can get them for about 300 quid.
Yeah.
Depending, you know, on who's selling them and what.
And in regards to sexing this bird, do you have to do it through DNA testing?
Yeah, DNA.
Through DNA
Yeah.
testing. And if you wanted to get that done, how do you personally get your DNA testing done?
I send it off.
You send it off.
I just catch them,
Yeah.
clip a toenail,
A toenail, right?
take,
Okay.
take the sample,
Yeah.
post it off, and it comes back within a week. Or
Simple. And how much do you pay for DNA testing?
about 15 quid.
15 quid. So there you have it. If anyone's interested in DNA testing birds, that's how much it's
There
costing.
is some people that will do it, you know, for less, but
Yeah.
I just pay 15 quid and it's done then, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm not messing about waiting.
Of course. And in regards to, again, I'm talking a lot about breeding because whoever's watching this channel, a lot of them are willing to get what you've got here. In regards to your birds, do you break them for the breeding? Do you just leave the nest boxes in all year round? When they go down, they go down?
I just leave them in. When they've finished with breeding season,
Yeah.
I clean all the boxes out,
Yeah.
refurbish them.
Yeah.
You know, as you can see, these here I don't even bother with because they've chewed them
They've
to
just hammered
pieces.
them, haven't they?
They've just savaged them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But normally, I'll take all the sawdust, the shavings out and everything,
Yeah.
refurbish them, and then next year we just write them with them.
Brilliant. Well, that's some good advice. And this man's obviously getting a lot of results. You've been in the game a long time. Your name's known, so that's really good. In regards to the inside, can we have a nosy inside?
Yeah,
What's going on?
yeah.
Let's have a
You
look.
can have a look inside.
I noticed just quickly while we're walking past, so this rabbit here, this is a wild rabbit. So tell us your trick. What did you do to get the rabbit in?
Well,
You just,
they just, like I said, they were wild rabbits. There's 3 of them.
yeah.
They come every morning. They climb up my leg for me to feed them. Every morning, there's 3 of them here. As soon as I open that gate, they're there.
That's fantastic.
I've just won the confidence of them over the years.
Yeah, that's
They
brilliant. You know, I've never owned a rabbit, and only yesterday I ended up buying one from the auction to put in the bottom of my large aviary building.
Well, like I said, what happened was somebody had dumped some rabbits on this lane
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. And this lad that come down here, he caught 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah.
picked them up, and he come here and he goes, "Here, give them an home." So I had them in, I had a big aviary on there, and
Yeah.
I put them in that aviary, and they were in there for quite a few months. And then I thought, it's no good locking them up.
Gosh, let them out.
So I let them know, they were all right in here, I let them run free, and they ended up mixing with the wild ones.
Yeah.
And from there on, the others, like I said, they were brown and white and black and white. They disappeared after a few years.
Yeah.
And then it was just the wild rabbits left.
Some stick
But
around
like
for
I
you.
said, they keep coming back every day. They're here.
It's fantastic. They always get fed, they obviously trust you, don't they?
Well,
And
yeah.
you've got a little dog running around, he must obviously.
Yeah, it does all right. It doesn't really bother the rabbits. It sits and eats with the rabbits.
Yeah. You've got a nice little piece of land up here, pal. This is what most people in this game would dream of. Right, this is a bit different to a...
You'll have to excuse this because it wants cleaning out.
Oh,
I haven't cleaned it because of like they've got young down at the moment.
Yeah, of course, so you want to be leave them alone. So this is your cockatiels.
This is the
Are all the nest boxes more or less full, do you reckon? Or...
Well, yes, in fact there's young in this one.
Right, that's really cool.
There's eggs in that one over there. There's eggs in this one. There's eggs in that one over there.
Yeah. And in regards to, again, advice for people who's doing this, in regards to checking the boxes, how often do you go in? Because you don't want to disturb them, do you?
Well, I go in maybe once a week to check.
Yeah.
You know, when they start laying, I take note when they start laying.
Yeah.
And you've got like roughly about 18 days before they start hatching.
That's right, yeah.
You know, so I just check, but they lay on the floor and everywhere, look.
This is it, and when,
You know.
I've just noticed the eggs on the floor, like, will there be a hen sitting them on the floor?
I think she's left them actually.
Right. Because obviously, why has she done that when she's got obviously a choice of boxes?
Just the way they are.
Just don't make sense. does it?
Sometimes they'll lay in the boxes and leave them in the boxes.
You can give them all the, you can
know.
give them everything they need.
And then
Let me just
I've got,
give you a rough idea.
there's all these Crimson-Bellieds in there. They're the same.
Yeah, I really do like these, you know. They're just a bit outside my price range at the moment. Beautiful. I like your setup, mate. I like your setup. And obviously it's working for you. You're getting the results.
It could be better.
Well, everything could. You can always be better. I'm sure if you could chuck
Yeah,
£1 million at this, you could.
Yeah,
You'd still always want it
just-
more, wouldn't you? You know what it's like.
yeah.
But obviously, yeah, so I take it this is where you spend. Do you live up here, or is this just your work, so to speak?
This is just my hobby.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I've been retired 7 years now.
Yeah.
So.
And when you say a hobby, has it took over your life most of your
Well,
life?
it does do.
Yeah.
So once you've got animals, you've got to be here 365 days a year
Very
to
true.
feed them.
Yeah, yeah.
People said to me, "What, you're going down there Christmas Day? Do you not eat Christmas Day?"
I used to enjoy it. I remember when 14, I got into chickens, and Christmas Day thing, my friends couldn't believe it. I went up and I enjoyed sitting down for an hour with my chickens. Christmas Day, because you love it, don't you? You've got
Well, like, I grow stuff as well.
Oh yeah, look at all this.
Then we're all peas. Then.
Doing really well then. Is he ready?
All them the different fruit trees.
We do like some fresh peas.
You know,
I like growing them.
all them, like I said, fruit trees. Got,
Brilliant this, pal.
blueberries and everything on these. Look.
Yeah, they're good.
They've just started. Look.
And have you growing blueberries in pots? I take it you get just as good a success, don't you?
Well, that's them are in pots. And there's 2 of them there. Look, they're all. And then you've got all these.
Yeah, mum. I like it. Have you been into poultry, chickens?
I have, but I find that the fox and the dogs
It's a big
enjoy
problem.
them more than I do.
I've had that problem
I've
myself.
got, in fact, I've got 1 cockerel.
Oh, sorry, I've just noticed your peacock. Look at that.
I've got a peacock there. There's two peacocks.
Let me just try and get it out of the bush. Look at the tail on this thing, it's stunning. Come on. Look at that. Wow. That is a beautiful bird. What's the noise like on these?
Noisy, very
Yeah.
noisy.
I believe they're very bad for wrecking your roofs.
Well, they're noisy, really noisy. And them there are as bad.
What?
Them are guinea fowl.
Guinea fowl, yeah, they are noisy buggers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look at that.
See,
Look at. I'd love it to put its feathers up. Does he display quite a lot?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hopefully
just,
we might catch him. Hello, beautiful. Wow. Keeps going. So these style of cages, these are really cool. So is anything in these at the moment?
yeah.
Yeah. You've just built, right? We're not getting out of them, are we?
That's a red-bellied parrot there.
Oh yeah, look
That's
at that, beautiful. Is that a male and a female?
That's a male, red-bellied. In that box there is a female Senegal. I'm trying to cross them.
Yeah. I see. So you're trying to cross them, and what would you get with the cross?
You,
Beautiful bird, you think?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Cat Senegal, beautiful. And one of my favourite birds when I was a kid. So it was one of the first ever tame birds I remember. Stunning. And have you had any success at the moment with?
No, not Senegals, no.
No. So they're just a tricky bird, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, you. Well, good luck, and I hope you do breed. If you do manage to pull that off, let us know.
I will do, yeah.
I'd like to have a look at that.
Yeah.
Hello, pal, what are you saying? We like all animals here on the Bird Lounge, not just the birds. So, it continues. This is a really cool thing so far. So, total different setups to what we've seen. Obviously, we've seen Paul's, we've seen Johnny's, been over to Stacey's. And obviously, everyone's got their own style and own way of doing things. So, this is quite cool what you've done.
This is
a cooler van. So this is the building stage. Obviously we'll come back when it's all complete if you'll have us back.
Yeah.
Something on in here.
Cockatiel is in that one.
Beautiful.
The female's already sat on eggs in there.
She's on eggs, is she? Look at that, absolutely stunning bird. We got here. Hello, you noisy bugger. Remember these guys from Johnny's, they're the cake parrots.
Yeah.
Great fun. Got him on my mind then, Johnny.
They're an amazing parrot, aren't they?
They are, beautiful. So if you see the setup he's got here, it's very industrial grade. These parrots are not getting out of this.
And then you've got Senegals in there.
Oh yeah, more Senegals. Beautiful. Yeah, your setup's totally different. So in regards to, obviously you on about expanding.
Well,
Let us into a little peek preview. What are you thinking in your head?
I'm just.
Oh, a little peek. You're sorry, pal. Oh, right, we'll have a look at that in a second.
Right. As you've seen, there's 4 cages in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a platform here. In fact, it's stood up against the wall outside.
Right.
I'm going to build a platform here, and it's going to have 4 aviaries.
Right.
As you can see, them are the aviaries.
Oh yeah,
there.
the metal. Yeah.
I'm going to build 4 aviaries on there.
That's nice.
Uh,
And then the birds that are in there are going to
be able to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be.
It's just one work built in a day, and
mate.
I work on that job.
We know this. I'm building an aviary at the moment. I looked at it. 3 weeks, I said. 2 months are in.
Yeah, I bought these aviaries here.
There.
There's a block of 4.
That's really good.
A block of 4 and a block of 3.
Yeah.
I bought them from Somerset.
And were they made for you, or were they second hand?
They were second hand, these ones.
Right.
They were on the internet at £1,900.
Right.
So
for everything we see there.
for a block of 4 and a block of 3,
It's good price.
they were on the internet at £1,900.
Right.
I inquired about having 4 made for there,
Yeah.
and just 4 for there come to 2,000 and some, 2,300 and some pound. So I thought, right,
I'll
bought
go with them. Yeah.
And this young laddie here in this next pen to me,
Yeah.
he went down in his truck and picked them up for me.
Happy days for me, so all about. Look at that, you got yourself a bargain there. And obviously, when you're building aviaries like that, they're built to last forever, aren't
Well,
they?
they've done that, they once,
Exactly.
once you built them.
Yeah.
And we shut this up. This was a brew room.
A brew room, yeah, we're allowed to go for brews. We
Yeah.
all need one of them.
Yeah, I built this as a brew room because I have a lot of stuffed animals and what have you, and they were in my workshop.
I noticed
Well,
them.
you cannot work in your workshop with stuffed animals because they end up full of dust and everything.
Yeah.
So I built this.
And your stuffed animals, just touching quickly on that, do you just buy them because you like them, or do you do them yourself?
No,
Stuff-
no. A lad, a good friend of mine,
Yeah.
give me these.
These.
So, like I said, I have pine martins and
He's absolutely fantastic.
different hawks.
Do you know, I actually seen something on the internet the other day. Some taxidermist was willing to pay £40 for budgies that are dead. 40 quid. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I had a look online, not Etsy. £115 for stuffed budgie.
Peregrine falcon.
Beautiful. Stunning.
Otter.
I like that. I like these. Look at them. Look at the teeth on that little thing.
Oh yeah.
It's better than being a waste, and not seeing them at all.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you're keeping them alive in their own little way, aren't you?
When do you see a red squirrel?
When have
You'd
you seen
never
that?
see it.
with,
That is
you know,
unbelievable. Look at that.
a red squirrel,
That's stunning. Absolutely fantastic.
you know, beautiful, aren't they?
So does he still do them, your friend?
Yeah.
What's that one?
Buzzard.
That's a buzzard. Look at that.
Common buzzard.
I love the way he's done his work. He's a proper artist.
And then you've got a male pheasant.
Stunning, yeah. I love it. Well impressed. So, this is going to be your new brew room, is it? It
Yeah.
looks like more of a bar that
Yeah.
you're building here.
Yeah. I've just got to finish off now. I've had to leave this to go out there and finish.
Jumping from job to job.
Yeah, from job to job. Aviaries.
Really, really cool. So you've got no live birds in here other than...
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
That one won't be in here long. That's the one. That's a male. That.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a female for it.
You're looking for a female. Stunning.
There's a lying note what people
Hello.
write.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Zach.
Here. There's a note there. There's a note there. That come with this
So you
bird.
bought him from auction.
No, I bought it off somebody. But that's what come with it.
This one come with it.
Yeah.
Cheeky Charlie, 14-month male, blue-fronted Amazon. Very affectionate, loves being handled, bonds with handlers very quickly, likes to be out of the cage, talking very well, hello, what you doing, good boy, etc. Good boy, say good boy.
Don't touch it.
A real class clown and good fun to have around. I've got a feeling this is a trick question, isn't it? This isn't real.
I'd like to see the man that comes in here
And gets hold of him.
and bonds with that bird and picks it up.
Charlie,
That will bite your hand off.
I'm the Birdman, Charlie. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Stunning though. Look at the colours on him. Well, hopefully when you mate, your babies will be a bit nicer, mate.
I have a pair of them that's stunning.
Yeah. What here now?
Well, they're not here.
The one that are going to go into the.
They're going to go into there.
Nice,
Yeah.
man.
But the others, they talk their heads off and everything.
Do they?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love them. Absolutely fantastic. And do you have any birds at your personal home, or
No,
do you keep them all
I
separate?
don't have a bird in the house at all.
I don't.
Well, as you can see,
Other than
look
my
at them.
actual girlfriend.
They're messy, aren't they?
Very well. We learned that when I went to Johnny's, and he showed me. He purposely didn't clean up for me for one day's mess. I can't believe
They're
it.
messy.
Yeah, they
I've
are.
hacked up in here yesterday. Look at it.
Today's mess.
That's one bird.
Oh, it's not
that's
even the
one
day. It's halfway fruit day.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's tea.
And then like you spend half your life cutting fruits and veg up.
Yeah, you do.
I spend, well, it takes me 3 hours
To prep everything.
twice a week just cutting fruit and veg up.
Have you got any prep now? To show you?
Any what?
Have you got any veg prep?
Yeah, there's.
So, look at his so just quickly on Charlie. I'll see you later, Charlie. I hope you find a wife, mate, and that might calm you down. I get it. You can get like I can get frustrated from.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for Charlie? If you don't mind us asking.
It stands me at about 500 quid.
It's a good price.
'Cause-
Very good price, isn't it?
He's a very good bird, though, isn't he?
Because I give,
Beautiful.
I'll tell the truth, I give £200 and 30 budgies. Well, if you're getting 30 budgies at £10 a piece,
That's a very cheap
it's
price.
500 quid, isn't it?
That's
So-
very cheap budget.
The £20 a budgie now.
Well, like I said, I swapped £200 and 30 budgies for it.
500 quid.
So,
500 quid and you got your hella deal.
to me,
Have a drink. Can you imagine what we do with all this land out here? We go absolutely mad. I'd just cover it if we had the money. It's just money, money, money.
I don't bother about money because there's no pockets in shrouds, is there?
No, this is it. And
You know.
it feels very, like for people getting into the bird game, obviously to do something like on your level, security's got to be very important, hasn't it?
Definitely.
And this is what you need.
Well, I have, everything's cameraed up, everything.
Yeah. I'm good. We're going to be doing an episode shortly on security systems and how to lock your bird rooms off properly. With today's technology, for very little investment, you can see with no Wi-Fi, like I've got cameras that are 5G covered all the time, and they're 80 quid a camera. Cover your bird rooms.
Well, as you can see, These are all on camera anyhow.
There we go. So Terry's already got it locked off. He knows he's not playing games.
You
He's
know.
probably heard from people in the past who's had birds stolen. So we're trying to say to you now, think before it happens, because you always do something when it's too late. So think about your security as you're building your bird rooms.
See, there's bird food.
Yeah. And that's obviously what you give it. What is a mix in there?
This is all
what's
fruits
your
and that's all fruits and vegetables.
Yep. So you've got a bit of everything, in there.
Everything.
I can see that.
Bit of everything.
Everything.
Pears, oranges,
Yeah.
apples.
And you'd make it fresh twice a week. That's what you do.
About 3 times a week.
Three
actually.
times a week. Yeah.
You know, that's mixed fruit and pulses.
And pulses. What do you mean by pulses?
Show you there.
Them are pulses there
Yeah.
behind you.
Pulses.
So explain what it is, Terry, because a lot of people won't.
That's high protein pigeon food and pulses. And when you soak them,
Yeah. They start to split, don't they?
and as you can see, when you've soaked them,
Yeah.
they grow. Look,
Yeah.
and when they grow, then the birds love them. You know what I mean?
And would you recommend feeding this to? Because obviously the birds you've got big pouch. Would you give this to your cockatiels as well?
I feed it to everything.
Even your budgies when you have them.
Even
Because I
budgies.
can imagine budgies really enjoying that. So just remind me again what it is for anyone who's watching, because I'm going to try this myself. It's pigeon food, just
It's high protein pigeon
Colours.
food.
high protein pigeon food. Yeah.
That's it. There. That's it. That's it in a dry form.
Yeah. We'll just show them back so we know exactly what he's using. So it's a Branford top flight.
Bamford's top flight.
Branford, yeah. And then so you wet them up, and how long do you leave it
And
for?
then you've got sunflower hearts
Sunflower hearts, yeah.
that you mix. That's Bamford's top
Yeah.
flight, sunflower hearts.
Yeah. And what would you mix? Would you go third sunflower hearts?
Yeah, I mix them all.
Yeah. And then what? How long do you soak? You wet it and then just sieve it out, drain it off.
It's wash them
Yeah.
twice a day.
Yeah.
Sieve it, drain them off, wash it every day, twice a day.
Right. Okay.
And that's like 2 to 3 days.
And which ones did it? So this is today's, is it?
That's just been soaked.
Yeah, you can
last
see the
night.
difference. So
Are you with me? That's just been soaked last night.
last
that.
night, that's 3 days old.
3 days old, and this is 2 days.
Right, there you go. I'll tell you what, Terry, that's a really fantastic tip.
You
that,
can
thank
see like how they're just starting to sprout. Look,
You can.
you know, it's
Yeah, that's a very good tip. I'm sure a lot of people watching this will give this a go, definitely.
and like Aviary, the like in the conure sheds and things like that, I'll put a full cauliflower
Yeah,
or a cabbage
right.
or broccoli. I
Yeah,
put full ones in.
yeah, just let them go for it.
Same in the Cockatiel shed.
Yeah,
I'll put a full one in there.
right.
And when it's stripped,
Yeah,
then I'll change it, you know,
Yeah.
an alternate, something different.
really
You
good.
know.
And what would you say your bird's go-to favourite food is? If they were going to have a final meal, what would you say your birds would say?
Well, like I said, I feed them all these every day. I feed them all them every day.
Yeah. So they just get the good food all the time from you, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's
That's
like
what you got to do.
I feed them egg food every day.
So you give it everyday egg food,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay.
You know, it's like
What about millet? Do you give them millet
millet, yeah,
every day or as a treat?
as a treat, maybe
Best way.
3 times a week.
Yeah, it's a price of it
Millet.
as well nowadays, isn't it? It's so
Apples.
stupid. Yeah, love
Apples,
apples.
I give them apple every day.
Yeah,
When I had budgies, I used to stick it on the end of the rack and they just ate it as they went along kind
Right.
of thing. In fact, in the Cockatiel shed now this morning, I put 2 apples in this morning
yeah.
for them. But like budgies, I found loved everything.
Everything.
There's nothing that a budgie doesn't.
I think the go-to for budgies for going mad, it's got to be spinach. Go mad for it,
well,
my
I
budgies do.
I put spinach in with the food.
Yeah,
I put spinach, kale,
kale, yeah.
you know.
Just a bit of everything,
A
just
lot
get
of
it all in.
leaf, yeah, all leaf vegetables and things like
Yeah.
that. I put all that
Yeah,
in.
people on the internet, they're calling it chop, aren't they, nowadays? But what they do is they put it, the way you've done it, obviously you've chopped it with a knife, the way I'm seeing a lot of people on the internet doing it, they're blending it. But I prefer that because it's more natural.
Well, it goes to mush.
This is it.
If you blend it,
Yeah.
it goes to mush.
That's right,
It's
yeah.
like feeding them soup
Yeah,
after
I've
2
noticed
days.
that. It doesn't look good, and I'll tell you what, it looks messy.
Yeah.
But it goes everywhere, it's messy.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
no.
that's what I said. It's like even this stuff. If you don't wash it, I wash it and sterilise it.
Yeah.
You know,
And when you say sterilise it, what do you mean by that?
I sterilise
It
it.
sterilises it properly. So just talk us through this one.
Well, I put like that now. I'll wash that tomorrow. When I'm washing it, I'll put it in the sink, in the buckets,
Yeah.
fill it up, swill it, then I'll fill it up again, and I'll put 2 capfuls of that in,
Right, okay.
you know,
Yeah.
and leave it for till I've been round and fed the rest of the birds,
Yeah.
and then I will swill it all off again, drain it, and as you see, I'll put it back into the bucket.
Yeah, happy days. I'll tell you what, that's a good tip. I'm going to take it on with me. I'm going to go to Berries on the way home. I'm going to buy some, well, exactly what you've got. I'm going to try it because it's working for you and you know what you're
Well,
doing.
at the end of the day, my friend, he's been in it 40 odd years. I'd say he's been in it 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, he owned a pet shop for many, many years.
Right.
In fact, it's only just shut down last year, the pet
Right.
shop. Aim Pet Stores, Fred Preston. He swears by pulses.
Yeah. I'm Fred Preston. I keep hearing his name
He-
a lot.
Well, he was one of the biggest bird breeders around.
Right. He was, or is he still?
He's still,
Still. There you go.
you know.
Hopefully one day I
Uh,
might get to meet Fred Preston.
Well,
you never know.
He breeds a lot of Amazons.
Right.
Yeah, he breeds a lot of Amazons.
And when it comes to, when you say the biggest breeders, because obviously everyone knows everyone in this game, I'm starting to notice. When it comes to the Budgies, who would you say the biggest guy in the UK for the Budgies would be?
I wouldn't like to say because
No.
there's Budgie breeders on every corner, isn't there?
There is.
See,
yeah.
I'm not just saying it, but Budgies breed themselves.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just literally breed themselves.
Yeah, if with it,
I'd say probably Terry's probably one of the biggest budgie breeders about was.
Well,
By far.
well,
right.
He's
I-
had over 1,000 budgies. And I bet you've had over 5,000 budgies, haven't you?
oh, easy.
And
I probably bred 500 Budgies a year.
a year, right? You win on a serious scale.
You know.
And were you colony breeding? Is that
Yeah,
your
colony
way?
breeding.
And let's just talk, because the one big debate at the moment on the internet is the nest boxes. Now, in regards to your nest box, without me saying anything, how did you keep them? Were they all on one level, scattered all different, same sizes, different sizes?
They were all the same size.
Okay.
They was in rows.
Yeah.
But when I say in rows, the length of a nest box,
Yeah.
miss the
Yeah.
length of a nest box,
Yeah.
put another one in, and then there was another length underneath,
In the
in
middle.
between that gap.
I get you.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
And there was probably 30, 40 nest boxes
Right.
in that shed that you've just been in.
Right.
You know, the one where them new cages are.
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
In there, because like I said, that was one big shed. There was 500 budgies in there.
Just going
You
for
know,
it.
I decided, woke up one day, decided that I've had enough of breeding budgies.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid, and I'm going into bigger parrots.
And what were the reasons? Obviously, you can't just wake up one day and stop. Because obviously, you're in a big way, weren't you, when you're doing that?
Well,
and do you just get bored? Do you think you completed it? Because in a
Well,
way,
I've
you've
done,
completed
I've
it.
done
haven't
it. I've done it. You
You
know,
have,
I've been
yeah.
there, done it, had the t-shirt.
And did you
It's
fancy
just
a
one of
challenge?
the things. It's, you know, I've always said budgies are good. Don't get me wrong, budgies are brilliant.
Oh, I love them, mate.
Because everybody, you know, it's like, see, there's breeders and there's dealers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a breeder. A lot of people are dealers.
Yeah.
You know, now I've always said everybody has got a tenner for a budgie.
Yeah.
You know,
Everyone's got a tenner.
You know,
They have. Yeah.
everybody's got a tenner for a budgie, but not everybody's got £1,000 for a parrot.
No, very true.
You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
and like I said, and a lot of people make the mistake. It's like that one that I just showed you in there, that blue front. That'd take your finger off as soon as look at you. You know what I mean?
And
It
same
would.
with Charlie. Who was he? Not a parrot in there, the naughty one. Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
He'd have you,
take,
Charlie, wouldn't
he'd take your finger off
Yeah, he
as
would.
look at you. And a lot of people make that mistake they buy a parrot,
Yeah.
they'll give £600-700 for
Yeah.
it, even £1,000. You know what I mean?
I don't know what to do with it.
6 weeks down the line, it's bit one of them. Phew, we're not having that, we're not keeping that.
And 9 times out of 10, the parrot's just then left alone, pulling its feathers out.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
sometimes, like when we went round to Johnny's got some beautiful stories in regards to what he's rescued. And it's like, people need to wake up. This is what I'm hoping my channel's going to do, is let people know it's not as easy just get a parrot
No, it
and
isn't.
look after
It's
it.
like
A
I
budgie's
said-
different. Get a decent sized cage for a budgie.
well, it is.
Anyone can look after a budgie, really.
Well, it's
But-
like, I shouldn't really say this, but like, my food bill last month, 475 quid.
Well, I believe it, mate.
You know.
I do believe it.
People don't realise how much money.
Yeah. Do you know a little tip I found? Go to your greengrocers, because I've been going round, just literally go in, the little ones, and say, have you got the amount of stuff I'm getting out of their bins?
Yeah, but wait a minute. People say to me, why don't you go to Aldi and get, ask them to sell you stuff that they're going to throw in the bin.
God.
It'd all get washed and sterilised before I give it my
Well,
birds.
yeah, that's sterilising. That's, again, you're teaching me a lot of things here,
it's
definitely
just-
as we're going.
It's just common sense.
It is, when you think
You know,
about it, it's very
it's
simple.
it's like that there. That's egg
We've got
food.
here. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's all egg food.
Now, obviously, again, egg food, giving it every single day. It's shocked because I've
That
been led to
there.
believe it's twice.
That there is groats.
Groats.
That's groats.
Yeah. And do you mix that with, what do you put that with?
That's groats, salt.
All right.
That's ready for tomorrow morning, that.
And how long has it been soaking for?
I've salt that this morning.
Right.
So
it's
that,
still
that'll
24
be
hours.
ready tomorrow.
Yeah, cool.
That.
And just let me quickly just show that disinfectant, not disinfectant. That's the stuff he's using. So it's 2 catfuls
Yeah,
for a full bucket of
yeah,
that.
for a bucket.
So just so you know, guys, we'll do a video just on that. I'm going to do a deep dive and look into it before we...
And that comes from Law's Chemicals.
From where's that?
Law's Chemicals.
Law's Chemicals, right?
At Rochdale.
Fantastic.
Halifax Road.
How much is a tub of that? If you can remember.
It's not so dear. About 2 or 3 quid, that's all. It's not very dear.
Well, we need to get
That's
to
why
ours.
his breeding success is so good, because he feeds them.
Yeah, and he's obviously looking after the diets. The diet's the number one key to a bird, isn't it? Once
And
you've
it's
got
like budgie boxes that you're on about.
yeah.
I used to make all my own, as you can see there.
Yeah.
I used to cut hundreds of them up at once,
Yeah.
you know.
I've made my own. It's a bit of fun to knock them up.
What?
To be fair. I enjoy doing them.
Concaves and everything.
Yeah,
The concaves, right? That's what I did. That's what I'm going to buy separately. Sorry, Phil.
well, the concaves. Them,
And what do you use to make your concaves?
Dread secret.
well, yeah, no, that's a trade secret.
Yeah,
that,
fair
actually.
enough.
I will
You
tell
don't-
you.
you don't get to know that
He'll
one.
tell you
No,
off camera.
I will tell you. Right, I'm not bothered about telling you on camera because it doesn't matter to me now.
Well,
Right, I built this and this.
right, this is how you do it.
Right,
Don't be asking for the tool, because that's mine.
you can have it if you want it. Right, as you see, right, that fits in there,
Yeah,
as you can see, right.
yeah,
When you put that in there, screw it down a little bit,
Yeah.
and it holds that,
yeah,
right. You clamp that onto your saw.
yeah.
That goes onto your saw, right? When you saw, you raise your saw a little bit,
Yeah.
Table saw.
right?
Right.
Table saw, you raise it a little bit, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then eventually, when you've been all the way around, you can just spin it like that, right? And just spin it like that. When that's screwed in, obviously, it don't
Yeah.
catch. So you spin it all the way around, and that is what you get at the end of it.
Well, that's one way to do it. Did you come up with that yourself, or did someone pass that secret to you?
Just something I thought of.
Clever way to do it.
You know, all it is like I said, 2 blocks of wood with an hinge, a screw, where it goes right
Yeah, and it
through,
just keeps dropping round.
and it just keeps it in place.
It's a good idea. Very good idea. Well, we're coming to the end of this interview, and what a fantastic day it's been. Thank you very much, pal, for having us here.
You're
Really
welcome.
do appreciate it. And hopefully, once everything's done and dusted, get in touch and we'll come and have another look around. So, just got a couple of questions that people who's new to the game might be interested in. You've been in the bird breeding industry for a long, long time. So why, after all these years, 40 plus years, are you still doing it? What is it that's
Passion, isn't it? Passionate.
It's a passion.
It's like, I don't know. I come down here every day. This is fantastic today,
Yeah.
but you come down here November, December,
It's a different ballgame.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a different place then.
Well, that's where you need your log burners.
This is where it sorts people out, you
Yeah,
know.
of course it does. It shakes them out.
They all
shakes
want to
them out.
come down here in summer, but
Yeah,
they don't
of
want to
course.
come in winter.
Very true.
But, like
You've got
I
to be
said-
an outdoor person if you've got your aviaries.
Well,
You've got to be with
like
them,
I
don't you?
said, I'll be all right when that's finished and I'm sat there on my veranda
Happy.
in my rocking chair. I'll be right.
That's your goal, isn't it? I'm sure you're going to pull that goal off. It's
Oh yeah,
doable, isn't
I've
it?
just got to finish off. Like I said, I'll finish that. I'm going to finish these 3 aviaries here first.
Yeah.
I've got to cut the holes in for them to get outside from the cages.
Yeah.
Put the perches up in the cages. That's that bank then finished. Then I'll start on these.
Yeah.
And next week I'm going to put the decking floor down. I've got 2 big floors around there that's going in. They're 16 foot by 8 foot.
Nice.
So it'll end up a 16 foot square.
That's going to be a decent size aviary, very big.
So
Yeah.
the aviaries that are going on them will be 12 foot by 11 foot 8
Cool.
that's going on there. And then I'm undecided then. I've got another bank of 3 aviaries.
Yeah.
I haven't really decided yet
Where you're
where I'm going to put them or what I'm going to do.
Well, you've got plenty of
When-
places.
When I've done them there and put the aviaries on and that's finished,
Yeah.
my next job then is finish that room there.
So go on, if you had to give yourself a goal to get it done, when do you reckon you'll have the aviaries done?
Well, it's getting the floor, it's getting the floors in position
That's right, yeah.
on stilts. When I've got the floors in position on the stilts, a fortnight,
You reckon in 2 weeks?
2 weeks it'll be up.
Go on then. Good
Yeah.
luck. I hope it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, well, like I said, the aviaries are already done there, like I said. The aviaries are already done.
Yeah.
There's part of some of them. They've all got swing feeders in, both
Yeah.
sides.
And that's what you need. Them
know.
swing feeds, fantastic.
They've got swing feeders on both ends. Obviously, the ends that go to the shed, I won't need swing feeders,
course,
so
yeah.
I'll blank them off.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, once I've got that bank of 4 on there, and the holes, and they can come outside, I'll be a lot happier, you know.
Yeah, really good. So with your years' experience and anyone who's getting into the game, if you could recommend one breed of bird for someone starting off to get into it, what would you say?
Budgies.
Budgies,
Yeah.
just for the ease of the budgie.
Well, budgie, like I said, budgies do their own.
That's right.
There's nothing, you know. When you start getting into parrots,
Yeah.
it's a different thing,
Yeah.
you know. You'll get parrots that'll lay eggs, they'll leave the eggs or they'll crush the eggs or whatever, and then you're incubating them, you know,
And frustration.
frustration. You'll get them where they'll sit the eggs, hatch them, and then pull the heads off them,
Right.
you know. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So, but you learn,
Yeah, of
you
course.
learn. That purr, you'll say that purr there, it'll sit, it'll hatch them, and then it'll pull heads off them after a week,
Yeah.
you know.
So
So
like, why is
once it's bred and it's hatched, you take them
yeah, and then hand rear them.
and rear them,
Yeah.
you know. And funnily enough, once you've taken them and unreared them, once you've taken them, that will go down, them purr will go down again.
Right. So you can get speed up. You get
Whereas
more.
if like you get a good purr that will rear them. If you leave them with them to rear them,
Yeah.
they'll only go down once in a year.
Get you. Right.
Are you with me?
So
But if you,
sometimes it's yeah.
a lot of people, like I said, when they get to like 2 week old, 3 week old, they'll pull them because they'll go down again. Then,
I get you. Of course. In regards to when it comes to colony breeding, because obviously the volume of budgies you did have, you know a thing or two. If you could give anyone one piece of advice in regards to colony breeding, what would it be?
keep changing the bloodline.
Change the bloodline.
Keep changing the bloodline.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you end up with runners and everything.
Yeah, of course. And how do you keep an eye? Obviously, you take it you do ringing, but when you're on a volume of that level, how do you keep an eye on crossbreeding? And
Well, it's like people say, crossbreeding. You know, Budgies originate from Australia,
That's right.
as you know. Who's watching them out there when they're in the wild?
no, I understand.
That brother with that sister, should it be? Who knows? You know, to me, it's just a natural thing. They either do or they don't.
Yeah.
You know, I've never bothered about things like that.
Fair enough.
You know, but like what I do say is fetch fresh bloodlines in constantly, and then you're cutting a lot of that out. Are you with me?
And if you want, say for example, you were starting from nothing and you built your first aviary, now you want to get your stock in for your birds, where would you recommend going to find your stock? Would you recommend going to the auctions, or would you find breeders similar to yourself and me, Johnny? And
I've found out, listen, as I've said many times, to be a truthful breeder going in the world, they'll all tell you bullshit, you know. I'm not, people say to me, is that a cocker? And then I'll tell you the truth, I haven't got a clue. You know what I mean? But, you know, I've been to places, 40 years ago, I bought some blue pennants from a well-known garden centre, you know. I said, I like that. How much are they? £80, lad. So, right, I'll have them. Come back in the morning and I'll have them boxed for you. You go back in the morning, here, there's your box. You put them in an aviary, they haven't even been together. They're different birds.
yeah.
They pluck one another, they've stripped one another bird.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's just a no-no.
Yeah, I found in the bird game, it is gambling a lot of times.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
like I say, I've been
And wait a
backing
minute,
it.
oh, I'll sell you this bird. They're prolific breeding bird.
Oh yeah, the ones that always go
Why
down.
are you selling me a prolific breeding bird? You know, it's
I know what you're
bullshit.
saying,
You're better
yeah.
off buying an hen off him and a cock off him.
Yeah, just put it in, make it happen.
Take the chance. Whether they do or they don't,
Yeah.
it's all bullshit. Like
That's
I
some
said.
fantastic advice. Thank you
You
very
know,
much.
They'll all, there isn't one of them can lie straight in bed. I told John when he first met me, I said, don't take anybody as gospel. I said, they're all liars.
Fair enough, I bet you have. You've heard it from the man himself. You just watch
Yeah, they're
what
all
people
liars.
tell you. There's not always truth tellers
They'll,
out
they'll
there.
only tell you what you want them to eat, what you want to hear.
I think one of the best things you can do is study as much as you can on the species you want to get into beforehand, so
Yeah.
you have a good idea what's
Yeah.
going on.
Pick-
There's so much to learn on
Pick what you want, what breed of bird you want.
Yeah,
Go into that for a couple of years.
that's it.
Because there's people out there, they'll buy something, they won't have it 3 months, fed up with that.
We know one.
Yeah, you know, 3 months, you go again, entirely different
He's in somewhere else.
colony.
Get you.
You know,
Get you.
they never keep nothing more than 20 minutes.
I think that some people have bad ADHD, and in today's world, it's this type of industry. You get dopamine from buying the birds, seeing them
Well-
hatch and whatnot. I think that's what people are doing.
Like I said, it's good. When you've bought some birds, it took me 2 years to breed them Conures.
The Conures, yeah, until they settle down. Like
Until they settle down.
Yeah.
And people, like I said, they won't keep them 2 years.
Yeah.
You've got to be patient.
chance,
You can't rush. You can't rush nature.
No, you're 100%.
You know,
right,
you cannot rush nature.
100%.
And,
Right.
and like I said,
If you want to breed, it's good.
well, yeah, that's it. And I've travelled. Well, I travelled to Norfolk for one Crimson-Bellied
Yeah,
conure.
you got to, don't you?
You know, if you see something and you want it,
You gotta go.
You've got to
yeah.
go.
I'm up and down that motorway, seeing people like yourself, and we're going to Stafford on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, you go out on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be there
Yeah,
Sunday.
you'll front seats. Are you in at 7 o'clock, or do you wait till the
Yeah.
public?
I've been here.
Oh yeah, happy days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so if you're selling at Stafford, you get it earlier, don't you? So, right, well, I'll tell you what, thank you very, very much for having me up. I'm sure my followers and myself really do appreciate it.
All right.
When it's done, have us back. We're dying to have a look at it all complete.
Yeah, I'd like you to have come when it's finished.
Well,
Like,
to
you
be
know,
fair, I think it's going to be better having a part 1 and a part 2,
Two, yeah.
and then we can see
Yeah.
what it was and what the after
See,
is.
it's like all that shit up there.
Yeah.
I'd like it when it's clean, you know what I mean?
Totally agree, yeah. But
You know, it's one of them things,
it's
isn't it?
bird keeping. Nothing can ever be
Yeah.
immaculate.
Well,
It
that's
can,
it.
but some people are all teethy.
Oh yeah, I've
and
been to places and I know a bloke that breeds Conures and it's like a surgery.
This is like
Yeah,
one of them.
you
I'm
know.
yet to see one yet.
We went to when we picked them Conures up.
Yeah, that was clean, weren't it? Really clean.
Never been
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah,
Right,
you
like,
hoovered it.
like a clinic.
Well, Thomas Gray does. Thomas Gray's another. He breeds Conures. It's immaculate. Immaculate.
Yeah, I'm yet to see one yet. I'm looking forward to that one where you have to take your shoes off type
Yeah,
of job.
well,
When you meet people like Terry, you know, you meet these old boys who do this,
Yeah,
they're a different breed to us.
yeah, they are.
well, like I said, Thomas Gray's one of the old.
And it's hard to get him to talk to these because they won't let you talk.
No, I know. I'm trying. We're getting our way in slowly but
I
surely.
don't know.
I'm hoping doing interviews like this with you, when it gets out on the internet, other people will also want to show what they've got off.
Well, the only
And let's
thing
show
is,
it off.
like I said, is location.
Of course.
You know, you don't.
No. And that's one thing I never do is disclose locations. For my views now, we could be in London. So
Yeah,
that's all I'm bothered about.
That's long as you don't ever.
That's the
you
deal.
know.
These people like Fred, you'd probably never get to talk to Fred, would you?
No, but it's a shame to
No,
it's a shame to let things like that go away. This is why I brought this. I've dedicated my whole life now into this, what I'm doing for a job, and try and make awareness, because people like you're keeping these secrets to yourself. Why? When the
Well,
world can enjoy them,
They're
and
not secret.
They're not secrets. It's just.
they are until you find out about them. Though.
Old-fashioned thinking.
It's just old-fashioned. It's like I worked in an engineering tin sheet place for 30 odd years.
Yeah.
In 30 odd years, I only ever seen 2 apprentices. You know what I mean?
Right.
So nobody comes into the business.
Oh, what
That's
they do
another thing. You get somebody who'll sit there 2.5 hours chopping fruit and veg up,
Yeah.
and then you think, fucking, I've got to do it all again the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Terry what his favourite job is.
I hate it.
Fruit and veg.
Hate it, fruit and veg.
I bet fruit and veg shop like shit.
Shopping, I can't talk to you, I hate it.
Hate it.
Right, guys. Well,
But it's got to be done, hasn't it?
yeah, that's it. Look, Terry, thank you very much, my friend.
Like I said, no problem.
Cheers.
Like I said.
Right, guys. So that's the end of this one. I'll update you later when I get home. See you on the next one. Look at that. Mother Nature, you've just done something special with that, haven't it? I'm going to show you something you don't see every day. Check this out. Right, so this is what's called a crow. It's the knacking now. So they put food in the bottom, the crows will land on it, and then I thought they were clever, but apparently they just drop straight through there. Well, they've not seen one of them before.